the true secret to overcoming even any of the attachment styles, really and truly, is this radical truth, because it's actually the things that have radical truth in the sense of being able to share what's really on your heart. Because whenever I'm sure you felt it as well, and I'm sure you can even filter in, when you get to a place where, for instance, let's say for instance, I see you, let's say for instance, I see you like kind of, it feels, and again, energetically, we can feel it. I feel like you're pulling away. Now you have your actual reasons why you're pulling away. It might have nothing to do with me. I may have never done anything, but because of my attachment style, and I'm sure you're same as well with FAs as well, we personalize everything. So if Samantha's pulling away, it must have been something about me that either I did, or she's thinking about something about me, and that's why she's pulling away. And so I personalize it. And so what happens then when I personalize it, I go, well, if that's the case, well, I need to pull away too then. And rather than just saying, do you know what, Samantha, can I be honest with you? Like, can we have a conversation? I feel like you're pulling away a little bit. And when you're pulling away, it is making me feel a little bit scared and anxious, because I do feel like I feel a sense of rejection or abandonment in this moment. I know that's not necessarily what you're trying to do, but that's actually how I feel. Now, saying that is really honest and really exposing and really vulnerable. And a lot of times we don't have the language to be able to say that to somebody. And also when we picture it in our head, we're like, well, if I tell them that, they're going to treat me like a dickhead. Really sweet. You know what I mean? But actually what we don't realize is by doing that, that frees you. You know what I mean?
No, you know what I'll say to me, Kojo, when it comes to what you just said, it's like I'll have moments where I want to say like what happened, things like that. It's my ego. It's my ego that won't let me do it. My ego will be like, girl, no, you ain't going out like that. There's ego Sam, which I call the ego Giselle. Mm-hmm. Ego Sam be Giselle and Sam be having a conversation, and they'll be saying, you know, girl, you can't go out like that. You can't say that. And I'll be like, you know what? You right, girl. We gonna let it ride.
Yep.
My husband wouldn't do me like that. Yeah, that's just how I go. And my husband would know how to speak to me. The Lord would tell him my spirit.
Yeah.
You know, God would
gotta get him in prayer.
Me. You know, because there's been people that I've met in my journey that they know how to speak to my spirit. They know how to say something to where it's like, oh, that resonated. You know, where I'm like, okay, that actually calmed every thought that I had down. But to your point, I hate that about myself. I personalize everything. Oh, it's so annoying. It's like the worst thing. I literally have prayed to God for it to go away, because I personalize too. I take everything personal, and I'm like, but anyway, that's what's happening.
The reality of the situation is that we had to do that as young children, because that's where it's coming from, right? As a young child, you had to personalize it because there is no other way to look at it. You're a kid, right? So if your needs are not being met and your parent is acting a particular way, as a young child, we're quite narcissistic, as they say, right? Almost in a sense, you make everything about you. So if your parents split up, it's because of you. If they don't treat you right, it's because of you. If they don't feed you, it's because of you. And so you kind of personalize everything as a child in order to to survive, right? Because what we need to be able to think like is a child, because that's actually how we operate as adults. We're children in an adult body. And so what ends up happening is that in that space, what you end up doing is that as a child, you can't look at your parents necessarily as the bad parent, because for survival, I need that parent to be good. I can't think of my parent as wicked and evil. Then that means I'm now left on my own for real. And as a human response, as a survival instinct, we're made to be in a collective, in a group. And the moment you're alienated from a group, then you're liable to die, right? That's the kind of thought process. That's the kind of animalistic aspect. So the child doesn't want to remove itself from a parent. This is why children can stay in abusive relationships with parents, because they've got nowhere else to go. They're dependent. And so a lot of us have dealt with parents who have not necessarily fed us the right way emotionally. And so we've internalized it as, well, it must be my fault. So what ends up happening is, in order to have control again in our adult relationships, what me and you are going to do, Samantha, is that if you pull away, I have to personalize it, because that gives me some control. That means I can change my present now. But if I can't change it, then that means now I no longer have control, which makes me feel anxious. No. I must find out the reason why Samantha pulled away. It must be because I did something. And if I did something, I can change it. Either I can do it and not do it or whatever, either way, or it must be that Samantha's got someone else there. Has to be. Right? Rather than going, actually, Samantha might just be in her feelings and she might feel something that for her, she's thinking it through and she doesn't know how to communicate that with me. But I don't think that way. I'm thinking to myself, no, if you really respect, and this is our big one, dismissives like this, if you respected me, this is not how you would treat me.
Oh, wow.
If you really respect me, it's not how you treat me. You know what I'm saying to you? Because what do you mean? Because our motto is this, for dismissive specifically, or let's say even avoidance. If you wanted to, you would. No, if you wanted to, you would. Yeah, it's a motto. Because how are you going to tell me you can't text me? How are you going to tell me that you took 4 hours to text me back? If you wanted to message me, you would have.
But can I ask you a question though? Dismissive avoidance, a lot of times, they're the ones that pull away. So the reality of the situation is that they're the ones that are pulling away. Why is it the expectation that the person is now supposed to just chase him? And like, then it's like, oh, well, if she wanted to, she would chase him. She would chase me if she wanted to. Like, or she didn't really like what's...
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, for dismissive and an anxious person, if it's an anxious person, right? What's happening is you've activated me, in a sense of you trying to get closer to me has activated me, right? With an anxious person, they're trying to prove their worth to me, so they're on me, and that you being on me is making me feel like I'm losing me. And I've grown up in an environment where I've had so much autonomy and independence that when an anxious person gets close to me, it almost feels like they're trying to rob me of that independence and autonomy. They're all over me. They want to do everything with me. They want to be in my space. They want to talk. You want to breathe my air, I want to breathe. And that makes me feel unsafe because, again, I need that time to be able to, first and foremost, keep myself, together. I need that time to also process my feelings alone. I don't process things together well with other people. I'm not a co-regulator. This is where secure people are really good. I am not a co-regulator. I've learned how to regulate alone. The truth of the matter is, dismissives never actually really regulate. That's the whole truth. The avoidance don't actually regulate. What they tend to do is go numb. So, for instance, let's say me and you get into an argument. I may need to pull out, go home, go to my little corner of my house or whatever, somewhere where I feel safe, and be like, okay, now let's process what happened. That feels safe for me. But the reality of the situation is, in most cases, people don't actually go and do the work. What I mean by that is that they don't actually process what's happening to them. Because remember, I'm not connected to my emotions. So I'm actually not processing it. I'm going to go numb, and I'm going to use something to distract me. So I'm going to watch TV, I'm going to play games, I'm going to call a friend, I'm going to play sports, I'm going to do something that will reduce the tension that I'm feeling in my body, okay? And it reduces it. And then it's like, oh, okay, I'm good now. So when I go back to you now, it seems like I've got over it. It seems like I can have a conversation with you, and seemingly we're getting somewhere, but we haven't actually done the work at the root of the issue. I haven't dealt with the emotional aspect that was with that argument. So what you'll see is the fourth or fifth argument, I'm going to go, you've cut me 5 times. I'm going to cut you now officially. And that's where you see the dismissive go completely cold. But it's because he or she has not actually done the work to say, actually, I need to come to you and go, hey, Samantha, can I be real with you? That last argument, how I really felt about the situation is that when we was talking, you said something and I was triggered and I felt like I wanted to run away. And I felt like, you know what, I didn't feel like I was comfortable in that space. I didn't feel like you really cared about me in that moment. And I won't say all those things to you. I'll just be like, say something like really, really generic. And men love this as well, specifically, is that you're not respectful, Samantha. Rather than really dealing with the actual emotions, right? So let's say an FA's, y'all know, y'all got a little bit of a slick mouth when you get to it. FA's got real sharp, smart mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily rude per se, but it's sharp and it's smart. Okay, y'all know how to hit. And let's say you said something really smart and slick. I start feeling very pained because one of my inner wounds is I don't take criticism very well because your criticism is linked to actually you don't like me. So it bypasses the fact where I should go, oh no, it's just criticism. It's like, no. She didn't just criticize what I was doing. She criticized me as an individual person. So now if I don't process that, when I come back to you, I'm like, you're just disrespectful, man. You're just like, you run your mouth, you say things, whatever you want to say, you just do whatever you want to do. And actually, whilst I'm getting out some points, I still haven't dealt with it. Because what is it you mean? You just disrespect you. What do you actually mean? What are you actually feeling? What did I feel in that moment? Here's what I felt. When Samantha, you said what you said last week, I actually felt hurt by what you said. And when I feel hurt, I want to pull away. Mm-hmm. This is what I have to explain, you know? But we won't explain that aspect, so you won't know that. So the situation never actually fully gets resolved.
Never gets
just push
resolved.
it aside, and then it's a fifth, sixth argument, and suddenly you find that that person has become a new person. You're like, where did they go? And it's because of that, you know?
Yeah, because we're not really actually talking about what we need to be talking about. We're like talking around it and not talking about it. That's good. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, y'all. Let's not just be every once in a while. Let's become family, okay? Friends that are family, okay? Join my family today.